Although electric vehicles are known for their quick acceleration, what makes the Tesla's Plaid the fastest production car ever? The three unique electric motors in the battery pack of the Plaid are its central component, while there are other contributing components as well. It is worthwhile to examine Tesla's electric motor ideas in more detail because they are quite inventive. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a huge thumbs up before we get into these specifics. Moving on, you are aware that the compass needle always points northward, in line with the Earth's magnetic field, assuming you have ever used one. The strongest force of attraction occurs when you bring a magnet close to the compass. This causes the needle to spin in that direction. You may rotate the needle on the compass by moving the magnet around it. This is an illustration of a magnet-induced rotation. On the other hand, a magnet can provide a powerful push or propulsion. An electric motor rotates by using the force of push and pull, but electromagnets are needed to keep the motor rotating continuously. Although copper is not magnetic, it is incredibly conductive and can be made into an electromagnet by passing an electric current through it. This allows us to manipulate the magnetic field to a great extent. The north and south poles of a permanent magnet, such as the one on your refrigerator, are immutable, while the magnetic field of an electromagnet follows the path taken by electrons as they pass through conductive materials. While there is a great deal of advanced engineering involved, it is not too hard to understand the fundamentals of Tesla's electric motors. Nikola Tesla's innovation served as the basis for Tesla's induction motor design, which relies heavily on electromagnets to function. We can use magnets to generate rotation by passing electricity through conductive materials, which explains why electric cars like the Tesla Model S Plaid are able to accelerate. Because the poles of a magnet are reversed when electricity flows in the opposite direction, electromagnets can swing in either direction based on the kind of current applied. The magnet may have its poles reversed without your having to manually turn it. The stator and the rotor are the two main parts of an electric motor. The motor's inner spinning center is called the rotor, and its outside ring is called the stator. While the rotor revolves, the stator stays still. In this application, rows of permanent magnets arranged lengthwise encircle an iron core, which serves as the rotor. To keep things simple, we'll assume that the ring is surrounded by 4 rows, placed equally apart: top, bottom, left, and right. As you circle the ring, the alternating poles in each quarter point north, and south. The stator is a lengthwise circumscribed tube of electromagnets composed of several coils of copper wire. By adjusting the amount of electricity flowing into each coil, each wire coil functions as a separate electromagnet that can be turned on, off, and have its polarity reversed. There is a permanent magnet inside an electromagnet when the rotor is positioned inside the stator. There is a natural push and pull that occurs whenever two magnets are placed close to one another, with the opposite poles pulling in the opposite direction. However, the rotation will come to an end after the first alignment is finished. The stator magnet's north and south poles must be continuously moved around the outer ring in order to sustain rotation. By adjusting the direction in which electrons flow through the wire coils, this is accomplished. The north pole of the rotor will be drawn in tandem with the stator's rotational movement of its south pole. On the other hand, as the rotor rotates around the ring, the south pole of the stator will push on the south pole of the rotor. The rotor will spin as a result of this continuous push and pull action, and it will spin more quickly the faster the magnetic field around the stator is moved. An electric motor cross-section is depicted in the Tesla logo. The pointed T shape is a slice of the rotor, while the top curving line is the stator ring. I hope this explanation was clear and largely correct. It might not be sufficient to make a textbook argument, but it should cover the essential points. As Sandy Munro disassembled the Model S Plaid, he discovered something more about the bearings. The rotor inside the stator may spin smoothly thanks to the bearings. Ceramic bearings have replaced the simple ball bearings found in earlier Tesla motors, as seen in the Plaid model. Compared to steel bearings, ceramic bearings have a few advantages, such as reduced friction, increased durability, and temperature operation. Sandy Munro has uncovered an intriguing finding about the wiring within the Plaid motor. The wiring in earlier Tesla motors had to be wound by hand, which was a labor-intensive and slow procedure. But Tesla has moved to a new automated wire winding procedure in the Plaid motor. This innovative procedure makes winding faster and more accurate, which can enhance the motor's efficiency and performance. Sandy Munro finally found out that a new kind of insulating substance is used in Plaid motors. The insulation in earlier Tesla motors was composed of a substance known as Nomex, which is frequently utilized in the aerospace sector. But Tesla has used a new material called PEK, polyether ether ketone, in the Plaid motor. PEK is a high-performance plastic that works well in high-temperature applications, such as electric motors, because of its exceptional chemical and heat resistance. According to a recent report, Tesla has given production line efficiency top priority. This is demonstrated by the fact that every automobile uses the same basic part, and that there is no need to waste time modifying the board's printing because every one of them simply says Model 3. For the Model 3, Tesla even created an inverter that they liked so much they included it into every motor in their lineup. The Plaid inverter board's lone alteration is an explosive fuse that functions as a little bomb, ejecting two pushers straight out and physically breaking two of the bus connectors that physically connect the inverter's power to the motor. Though it's unknown what would cause this fuse to blow, this ensures that in the event of a catastrophic event involving a Model S Plaid, the motors will instantly go entirely dead. Moreover, a Plaid vehicle has 3 identical motors, which makes it the most productive option for manufacturing. Sandy discusses the benefits of having 2 rear motors. With 1 motor per wheel and no need for a differential, there is greater power but also more simplicity. A differential or other object between the motor and the wheel increases the possibility of energy loss due to friction or the gear set when one engine powers 2 wheels. Since Tesla lacks a transmission and only has 1 fixed gear ratio, the only thing standing between the Plaid motors and the back wheels is a single gearbox. Interestingly, to maximize production efficiency, the stator within the Plaid motor is the exact same part as the one inside the Model 3 and Model Y motors, but there are major modifications to the rotor. The iron core of the rotor is made by Tesla using car-shaped laminate sheets. 529 of these sheets make up the core, which results in 6 rows of magnets around the rotor. After that, a second laminated piece that resembles the Tesla T emblem is used to cap off the magnets. These caps are just retained in place by the magnets. They are not connected to the rotor's core. The hosts were a little perplexed by this design, but Sandy and his team had never seen one before, not even inside an electric motor. Tesla states that a 25% boost in power and torque capability is possible thanks to the laminated star architecture and floating caps. Furthermore, the permanent magnets in the Plaid are far more potent than those in most other electric car motors, including the basic motor from Tesla. Munro and an unofficial source evaluated the force required to remove a bolt from the rotor magnets of different brands of electric cars in order to test the Plaid motor. They discovered that the Model Y needed 112 newtons of force, the BMW i3 needed 93 newtons, and the Mustang Mach-E only needed 81 newtons. In contrast, the Plaid needed 151 newtons. This suggests that the magnets in the Plaid rotor are more than a third more powerful than those in the Model Y and Model 3, and nearly twice as strong as those in the rotors of the Mustang Mach-E. Even though it's a complex issue, becoming knowledgeable about the Plaid's features and technology can make being an electric car fan more enjoyable. The presenters invited viewers to comment on the video and to point out any inaccurate information. In addition, they requested that viewers subscribe to their weekly newsletter and give the video a huge thumbs up. They concluded by thanking the Patreon backers for their assistance in producing top-notch material. That's essentially it for this video. I appreciate you watching, and please remember to hit the thumbs up on this video. Until our next one, see you. Music.